Sleep and I shall soothe you, calm you and anoint you, mirthful your hot forehead. Oh, don't you know everything's alright? Yes, everything's fine, and it's cool and the ointment's sweet for the fire in your head and feet. Close your eyes and relax, think of nothing tonight. That was coming up right before I started, you guys, and it was 8:35, which was the Wounded Warrior. 35-8 is that that 9 of Wands, that Wounded Warrior energy, and Mary Magdalene coming up from Jesus Christ Superstar. I have a message of the day, really profound mega messages, as well as your 7-deck read on the table. We're going to get right into it. We'll take a few deep breaths and roll the die. This is the read on the table, the main energies there from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. Here is the message of the day from 3 different decks. We have the Metatron deck on top, Nature's Whispers in the middle, and then the Shaman Dreams deck at the bottom. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer just so you can get some close-up pictures of those cards because they're very beautiful. The middle deck especially, there's a lot of detail, and then Shaman Dreams at the bottom. The underlying energies for all 3 decks on the left here, and then I also have piles for each one where I had to count cards at the end here, like this one too, I put at the top. And then here is the 7-deck read on the table with all of the 7 decks. And then there's a little bit of, I pulled a few cards for the message of the day with the animal, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit guidebook as well. So there's just a quick read with the cobra there. And you see very much someone facing their fears of the Black Panther, the vulture, and the crocodile, right? Kind of your worst fears. And this is like the teacher and the student, and the 2 as 1 energies of the twins coming together there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths first. Take a deep breath. Really deep into your lungs and hold it for a moment. Go ahead and let it out. You take another deep breath. You want to pull it in through your crown, wrap it around your heart. You want to purify with some white light right now, or any color that you feel guided to pull in. Wrap it around your heart and allow it to diffuse out to your chest, out to your arms and your legs, your head and neck, out to your auric layers and your field, to your home, your neighborhood, your state, your country, out to the world if you'd like it to, or you can directly intend it to a certain spot or certain person if you want. Go ahead and take another deep breath, one more. Sending lots of love and blessings to everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. I definitely had a beautiful day today. I think I have no more water issues, guys. No more plumber issues. Yay. Yeah, that feels really solid today. And it's been a long journey since, I think it was October 30th, since my water heater first broke and I started with all that. But we're good. I'm going to roll the die. I had some nice conversation today. I had this beautiful read, which actually, took me hours to do. The message of the day was very in-depth. So let's go ahead and roll the die for you guys. Today is the 11th, so 7-11 today. The 7 of the Chariot, the 11 of Justice. The day adds up to 24, is that right? 18, 20, yep. 24 is the Queen of Wands. It's Omega. Remember, Omega is Om and Ega, which is the feminine form of ego. So let's go ahead and roll the die. The Twin Flames on July 11, 2022. We have the sun, and I took some pictures of the sun. You can check them out on Instagram if you'd like. There's definitely some orb energy or ship energy, and you can tell the difference. Today they were really showing me birds. Sometimes birds can look white in the distance going by the sun, and bugs and that kind of stuff. but they were showing me all three today, and then the last one I posted was so much bigger than the others. And also when the video's going, you don't see it. You only see it when you stop because it's going in and out. Whereas the bird, you see all the way through. These orbs you don't, whether it's a ship or an orb. You can check it out online if you'd like. Here is Capricorn, which is also Saturn's energy, so some restrictive or parenting, father, paternal energies there with Capricorn. And then we have the number 10 as well, which is that high vibration. It's also the Wheel of Fortune, which is Libra for me. It's also October, which is going from Libra to Scorpio. So, and the sun is Leo, and a lot about the children and the childlike laughter energies coming up. The Capricorn of the goat climbing the hill, which came up with the bug climbing my tree yesterday. And then the 10 of that Libra energy of balance and justice, truth and balance and alignment. That high vibe energy of the 1-0 trill, and perhaps doing computer code as well with the 1 zeros. So this is my 3-deck read, Metatron, Nature Whispers, and the Shaman Dreams. And it was done at 11:11 to 11:17 when I put all the cards out. It started out with the Metatron deck, the underlying energies. The bottom of the deck was the detachment energy of the 37, which is that King of Cups and unconditional love, and asking the King of Cups to look up. And the guides are coming in really saying, not just look up as far as chin up and be happy, but look up at the sky. You're going to see stuff. You're going to see ships. There's all sorts of stuff that's coming in and out here that you're missing if you don't look up. We have the energy, the elements of air and water came right up in the underlying energy, as well as the Tree of Life, along with 13, 32, 7, and 37. This, by the way, 7 came up in all 3 decks, so the triple 7s came up there. And in the first deck, the Metatron deck, 33 cards came out at the end. And the last card of the read was Dimensional Gateway, which is 33, which is that Christ vibration. And we'll get into that as I give you the read. So air and water, blowing bubbles in water. I also realized that since I'm using my glass straw with the crystals in it. Remember, your breath is the essence of life. And so not only can you clear your water by stirring it and correcting the crystal formation, by sending it love and thanks and gratitude, but also by blowing your life essence into it in a really positive place, you know. Go into a positive intention and blow that water, or that air into the water as well. That was coming up today. And then the Tree of Life between the air, water, and blowing bubbles in the water. The crystal air, the crystal water. And remember, crystal can be broken up into the crystal, which is the purging, but also the crystal is the Christ-like, being in that Christ-like energies of unity. From orange to gold, the sacral chakra, to the gold Christ consciousness, the golden gate, so to speak, the birds and the dolphins, and the, I want to say dolphinians, and the King of Cups, look up. So I literally went outside to take those pictures at that time, and that's when I caught the orbs. You know, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's an orb or a ship. The bird, the bug versus the dolphin and lion energies of the King of Cups being asked to look up, you know, get away from the drama and look up. The beacon of the 44 of the Atlas energy, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, or perhaps the gym. The waves below, creating the flow of energy, crashing on the mountain's wall, lighting up the pillar, and Rock of Gibraltar was coming up. Gibraltar is the GI British altar of limestone and promontory. It's also supposed to be from the Jurassic period, according to Wikipedia. The sword and the stone, the sword of light that comes out of the top of it. A communication device was the first message I was getting. And then Kevin Bacon was coming up, along with the Rock of Gibraltar, which was interesting. And of course, there was news about Kevin Bacon because it was just his birthday on the 8th, and talking about how he made it work with his 30-year relationship with Kira Sedgwick. And also, by the way, Kevin Bacon's from the Philadelphia area, as well as Will Smith, who recently came up as well. Oh, and also the basketball player that just recently came up was from Philadelphia too. Very interesting. Okay, so they fell in love back in 1988. This was at 11:48, which is the justice of alignment, the 48 of walking away and within. And as I was writing this down, I heard like a tank coming down the street, which was funny because that was my my person coming to finish up my water work. And he had definitely dealt with an issue regarding that. I don't want to go into that because that's his business. But there is that energy of like the CERN energy of, loud noises and taking things apart to put them back together is what I'm getting now. The Rock of Gibraltar, there were tunnels created inside the mountain in World War II as a garrison. Water, wine, and data is what they called it. There were 495 steps according to this YouTube video. The wine cellar for the rich, 30 reservoirs in there, as well as 73 million liters of water. In 1998, they started using the water publicly by reverse osmosis, keeping their water clean there since they don't have a lot of rivers and lakes to use. So that's literally their method of survival. And remember, the Rock of Gibraltar is in the Spanish area of the country, but it's British territory. There were 3-story barracks as well for the soldiers back then, but because it's so humid in there, it became very moldy and they would get sick, so they didn't keep them in there. The soldiers were, released from that area. The old operations room that was used by Eisenhower as well is now where they have tons of information storage, the data center for mostly the casinos. So, perhaps some dirty money in there. But they say they have lots more space there if you want to rent out the space for new ideas. And the old gun that last fired in 1972 is still inside as well. The indigo angel connecting with the star of mysteries and masteries of life, complete. Just as the indigo can communicate with stars telepathically, the Rock of Gibraltar can also with AI technology. So again, I'm getting that there's actually a communication device that they're not going to tell you about. I'm sure there's other stuff going on there they're not going to tell you about. But CERN, I was getting, is also connected to the Rock of Gibraltar. The King of Cups, unconditional love, and the indigo world, the indigo warrior's world, looking down and looking up. The quantum twin flame energy, the two-eyed needle, simultaneous opposing directions and 0 point, or the toroidal field, airing to the light up. The King of Cups Atlas and the world, Hercules, which remember is her harvest, his map of the world, US and UK, or us and uck, or burr, or UK, us and UK, the Holy Grail of love, and the Ace of Cups is that Holy Grail of love powering up the mountain, so feeding energy of love into the mountain from the waves in the other picture as well, with love to infinitum, with sudden gold, the gold rush, in the waves of the ocean that love the mountain and create the light, like the lighthouse, the 12 and the 16 of the hanging man, and the sudden events, or the sudden epiphanies, or sudden sexual exchange. From the sea to shining sea, where land meets the sea, meets the sky, meets the I am. I, the mountain that receives the sea, her harvest of support, forcing him to see with your eyes, your emotions, and with a Christ unity consciousness, for him to see the light. The mountain and the tree trunk, whose roots run deep, and the flowing water that can maneuver, overcome, and get inside any and all places. For water that can be ice, water, and vapor, multiple faces of the divine feminine's emotions, the vines that wrap around the tree and climb up, the people and the animals and the plant life that are to ascend that mountain. The mountain and the tree may not move, but must learn to bend and reach, learning to move mountains without moving a muscle, the bending of the spoon, the sword from the stone, the message in a bottle, the air in the shell that you are, drawing the line between land and sea, between sea and sky, but a very fine line from sky to eye is more subtle planes, where the arteries meet the veins in that very fine, delicate transition. The tiniest of connections can make all the difference. So then different came up in a couple different ways from Wikipedia here, where the drug differin helps your skin to renew. It's like vitamin A used for acne and things like that. But also the differential, which is the push forward, the total derivative of a map between manifolds. So here's the map of Atlas coming up again in a definition. Between manifolds, which is the man and the fold, and the I between. A gear train of 3 drive shafts, where the rotational speed of one shaft is the average of the speeds of the others, or a fixed multiple of that average, designed to drive a pair of wheels while allowing them to rotate at different speeds. So, you know, the outer wheel, when you turn, has to go faster than the inner wheel, so it's really aligned. And they're comparing that to the masculine and feminine, being 2 as 1, and being able to go at different speeds, like going at your own speed, but yet working as one unit. So so you're working as one, as a team, even though you each can go at your own speed. At 1237 is the Hanging Man and the King of Cups. The differential geometry deals with smooth shapes and spaces, manifolds, spherical geometry, and astronomy, and the relation of the planets moving different speeds around the sun, which is stationed. The push and pull of driving a sine wave, or kind of like driving an obstacle course, from one mind, or from the heart with 2 minds. So again, referencing how the twin flames work together. The sudden gold rush, the gushing of love to the mountains through the waves, the energy of the emotion hitting the mountain, which stays put, and the message in the bottle from the land to the sea with the indigo telepathy, each communicating in their own way, and yet universal understanding of love. The sunshine portal with rays that reach far and wide. A high vibe new dawn. Welcome back, Cotter. And that was John Travolta, as they were taking me to a word I couldn't think of earlier, which was transversing. The word I couldn't find at 12:33, which is now 12:44. Like the water, the sun's rays can infiltrate anything on the planet. Its energy is in all resources. Birthing the authentic self, the 46 of the inner children loving and the outer children loving each other. The key to who are you? US, UK, UR, UA, UB, UC. I was just getting ubiquitous. And UC, and then I was getting ABC, talking about 1, 2, 3, however the words go. But of course that's Michael Jackson coming up. And talking about you and me. The Holy Grail, the hollowed instrument, and the rays, the keys, and now I'm getting Ray Charles, and Alicia Keys actually, and the Golden Gate, 66, via the 33 of the bridge to the 99 of compassionate love, that high vibrational love. At 1250, which is the Hanging Man and the 10 of Cups of emotional fulfillment, especially of the family, of the 2 pillars, the 2 wings, the 2 flames, and 1 driver of the chariot, which 2, 2, 2 plus 1 is the 7 of the chariot. And if you notice, if you add 33, 66, and 99, and depending on the way you add it, they all come up to different derivatives of 9s. 99 plus 99 or 18 plus 18. So 36 or 198 and multiple of 9s, no matter how you see it. The map of all directions of time-space continuum between manifolds, between man and folds is the I, the binder, the articulation that brings us all together on the same page, unwritten. the dimensional gateway and invitation to fly out that unwritten window, the window, the win of worthiness, to be of use, value, to have strength, to be able to thrive and prosper. Endow, the dove, deaf and dumb, but with eyes to see, see, and see. The ox of the hugs and kisses, the stag of stagnation and the heart of the deer, the dew on the leaf and the land holding space for the water, with air to see what you could see and the sun's rays. The Father having a son so he can see the best in himself. Then the 33 cards that came up, again, confirming that Christ consciousness, that unity consciousness coming up here, and the 7 of Wands of standing up for oneself without getting triggered. At the bottom of all of this, at the bottom of this pile of cards I had to count, was the 12 of the Akashic Records and the wisdom in seeing new perspectives. And at the top of it was the inner child, the 36 of the Atlas and the weight of the world of that inner child, and know thyself. That 12 is a part of 36, but 33 is too, according to 33, 66, and 99, where 369 is 18, and 18, which is 36. The 36 Atlas and running on empty, with 12 of the hanging man, and the wisdom on one side of that hanging man, and the 33 of the Christed unity on the other. You see, right? So you have the hangman of Jesus on one side and the Christed side on the other. The inner child is the map to the chaos of the sun's rays, exposing the shadow pack that follows you everywhere you go. The transformation, the alchemization of the mother holding space and the gifts from the stars. The star of Bethlehem, be to the nth degree, Lehem. It was coming up as Lahayim. Be to the nth degree, the hem, before Lahayim, is the fold. It is the clearing of the throat. The stitches as boundaries, easily removed, and the double vision, the double eye of the needle, guiding back and forth like that sine wave fashion. He, she, it, and a thin layer of ice, the shirt and the hem, which is part of hemoglobin, responsible for binding the oxygen. Furious, well, and themselves, the edge or boundary, the home, house, and hamlet, all are definitions of hem. Bethlehem, be to the nth degree, the hem, the fold, the articulation, what ties it all together. And then Lahayim, which of course is to life, is the message. From the Blue Mother, the Page of Swords, lilac castle on a cloud, in the purple moon, the kingdom of heaven, the King of Wands in duality, and balance here is needed, in the yin-yang, in the wake-up call of the dodecahedron, of the 12, of the pentagon, the 41 of new love, spiritual love, and self-love, that holy grail of compassionate love, as above, so below, Metatron's magnetic service. I was getting Metatron's cube as well, but the third flame, the rainbow bridge, the rainbow connection, the articulation, the binder that's always open to shower the shadow with purification of white light in meditation and welcoming the family, getting their wish in self-satisfaction and circles of life, or in other words, spirals of the seasons of the sun. Finding the sword, free from the stone, the truth in the sea of love and the union. The Magdalena of 118, which is the magician and the moon, the Magdalena shell in the life bulb, or the womb, with inspired pink phased arrays from the child within. The Knight of Cups emerald order to heal your heart on the path to the sun with unconditional love, with natural boundaries of nature and love, and key auras. Time out to reflect the Divine Feminine High Priestess in 0 point with the Knight of Wands, passion and their love for life, L'chaim, the right angle, and the leap to the chain with 2 humps, which is L'chaim, Chaim, the L of the right angle, and the leap of the apostrophe, and then the cha, which can be life essence, and also the dance, and the I of the I am in signs of the 10 of Cups, the 50 of complete emotional fulfillment of the family around the world. At 121 is the Magician in the world, of the Bluebird of happiness and the Robin Redbreast blushing, an energetic exchange with the ancestors, showing their gratitude and healing as well. The Wounded Warrior, and receiving healing from them by the Kundalini rising, the untapped energy to conquer your fears of dreams coming true with help, one step at a time. Purging the ending each day in the compassionate sunset where you are held with Archangel Sandalphon and Lyran fairies as the 22 on the Fool's Journey and the 38 of the Queen of Cups, the light body all lit up to the codependent tree with the key to freedom in the space between the truth of you and your root, your ancestors, of safety, strength, and the shaman's power, of choice, variety, and synchronicities, of blessings and thanks and the abundant universe, coming together to help heal each other with the King of Swords and his white diamond purifying light and innocence of that diamond light and angelic wings, the dragon's fire and the strength of the sun and love of the aqua rose gold heart of the mother in relationships and harmony, and the double diamond electromagnetic grid in the sky of the twin flames untying the karmic knots, 2 as 1 stuck together, just like the bugs I keep seeing flying together. The 40 of the Page of Cups and the evolution of birthing the new, twins, and the 12 of the wise Akashic records, and opening a new window, a new page. So nature, we go to the Nature Whispers deck, and we start with the 19 of the Sun, shifting your energy, the mothership above, and seeing the big picture of life on Earth, of the rainbow connection and angelic help, the 24 of the Queen of Wands and Omega, to be your best self always. And Hair was coming up again, so the play or the movie Hair, which has to do with the age of Aquarius and that wild rainbow hair, and all, the Maid of the Sea, on the seahorse, wild and free, with assurance of the 14 of that higher love, and of the 4 seasons, with patience and balance, all in due time, just like the seasons. I've been all around this great big world, and I've seen all kinds of girls, but I can't wait to get back to the States, to the sweetest girls in the world. I wish they all could be California girls. So then I was guided to break up California, which is Kali, and first I'm thinking of the goddess Kali, right? The warrior energy, but it wasn't that at all in the definition. So Kali for Nias, N-I-A, which is a language in an island in the Batu Islands off the west coast of Sumatra in Indonesia, which had, by the way, 770,000 speakers of that language in about the year 2000. There are 3 dialects, but no syllable or final consonants language, so it's an open syllable language. The Naya means I. So I is an I am, but also the I, like the physical I. It means woman, but also he and nephew. And the winnowing basket, or the separating of the wheat and the chaff. It means our and to look at, the watch and the test, the try and the collar, the anything and the nothing. At all, water, intention and purpose, to decide and resolve, and the 9, and 9th graders. To address as nigh rather than do, which is a sign of respect or deference. Kali for I, he and she, intention and purpose, and the 9 as the show of power as respect in the deferens, and the different deferens were coming up. So deference and then deferens with an S is carrying and reporting and diverting and removing. The deference is great respect, the willingness to carry out others' wishes. And then Callie is the road, the house, someone who clowns around, who is a humorous character in a film. So California is the fool, where one for all and all for one, with deference, respect for others in California, a language that all can speak. The fool's dream, right, where anyone can come to Hollywood, of heaven on earth, the city of angels, but in this world, it's for real. At 147 is the Magician and the Seven of Cups as spirits connecting with me. The 16 of the Tower and sudden events, epiphanies, and sexual exchange. The inner truths at the base of the tree and the spaces between there that you normally don't see. Look deep inside for those epiphanies with the 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love and the ideal course of action that lies in the King of Cups and that unconditional love. The city on a hill, or the queen who's in nature. Now, who here is actually the mountain, and who's Mohammed here? And all the people between, or the suburbs perhaps, mid-path. The big group calling them both to join them, to be part of the community on the bridge, who accept both sides. Au naturel and the city slickers, or the kingdom and the queen of the Nile and the space between them, the bridge, the binding, the articulation that separates or has been brought together, let no man put asunder. The 30 of the union and the home and the suspension bridge between countries and mountains and lands, waiting with bated breath to be grounded in, whether Gibraltar Strait or between North America and South America. The conch shell, the message in a bottle that's calling out, or a calling for auditions, which notice auditions is audio, a language that bridges. At 159, the Magician and the moment before, the Five of Swords, the war within, that anticipation of the hour. Maybe London bridges falling down here. The adventure in union, where the heart is the home. All sorts of bridging happening everywhere. In the 13 of transition to renewal of peace, and the 11 of justice and alignment, with a decision to be made. The baby nesting in the trunk, the tree trunk's cradle, and the desert versus the jungle, and all that lie in the space between, where the land meets the sea, half and half. Peace treaties here. Transformation and justice. The 44 of the Atlas social worker, or grounding, integrating how to receive love and seeking the beauty in the choice, whether it's 10 or 11, and a great big map called Atlas, from the dirty waters of beautiful Venice to the beautiful Venetian in the dirty Vegas Strip. A map of a showgirl and the loyal dear one who wants her attention while she's so enveloped in her flame and burning candles. The puppy who needs their mama's attention, but she's always working. And the 47 of the laughter of children and having lots of variety and choices and heaven in their eyes, the fairies playing, and the 41 of self-love and of new love, of being in service to the little seahorses in the coral reefs, perhaps in the corral, of 1 to 1, 2 of cups, and letting love be your beacon, your guide. Blushing orange with new love, 1 to 1, in the 2 of cups. With the King of Wands, you are worth it, as he sees the picture in his mind now. Seeing the variety show of everyone doing their own loving thing, play, service, romance, sightseeing, and making the dream home a reality. At 218, which is the High Priestess, the Divine Feminine, and the Moon, with the 7 cards in this deck, and at the bottom of all of it was the 7 of ample and positive emotions, or amplifying those positive emotions, and at the top of it was the 50 of the emotional happiness, the potential gateway that lie in the root of the tree, reflecting the waters in underwater paradise, protected by the heart or the trunk of the tree. The 32 of the journey, and trusting your own understanding of the strait, whether Gibraltar or Vegas gambling ring. The 27, to maintain your childlike spirit, that inspiration, and swing any which way you choose, with the sun peeking through, and the 26 of that Page of Wands, excited to be true to your heart, your life bulb, that inspiration that comes from within, whether it's your inner child or perhaps the child that's actually in your womb, allowing those ships to sail away, but also notice the one that's coming in, the dear one, the bluebird of happiness who's always right there under your nose, to be spontaneous in chaos and reach out across the orange moon to the child, to the group, to play and be creative. E.T. phone home, and the magician make a wish and blow bubbles in your water, like wishes in the spring, with dandelions, the tribe of the lion's heart, the 7 of the chariot, that little fairy girl creating ripples amongst the ancient ones, the trees nearby, sending her messages. So then we get to the shaman deck at 229, which is the high priestess and being present in the moment, the drifter going with the flow, and the 14 there of a higher love, of patience and balance, one step at a time, the empty well with time to replenish, the 16 suddenly with water and epiphanies and well wishes, perhaps some barrels, the 49 of self-satisfaction and skywriting the fates, with symbols of the sands of time, perhaps on its side, the K of energy and the M of the mountain, the F of the phi expanding and contracting or just reflecting in the middle, and the finish line, the flags at the finish line, getting your wish of the Taurus, between the masculine and the feminine, with energy of the mountain and expanding and contracting or reflecting in the middle at the finish line. The 46 of the root girl, the disowned self, crying in the trunk of the tree, the little girl who forgot who she was, and the 15 of the shadow, the dust devil stirring things up for no reason, moving out of stagnation or the stagnation, or a dirty place, no feast, in order to feast of plenty. The 20 of judgment, or perhaps a wake-up call of choices and their consequences and seeing what happens, or the feast or famine mentality, and it doesn't have to be that way, with patience and balance, and the vanishing mirror of the 58, the 4 of swords, of plenty of rest, break, and 5D connection, and the ego sublimation, which is subliminal Tyon, the tiger lioness, smashing preconceived notions of the mirror outside of yourself. And that's where the 777s came up, of water, positive emotions, and sacred contract. The 22 of the Fool's Journey, in the 22 cards at the end of this read, and at the bottom of all of it was the 7 again, the covenant, the unwritten, and at the top of it was the 6 of love and the cosmic womb of the divine feminine, and the blank slate of creation, from the mic of Kas in cosmic womb of the mother's love, traversing the dream thief, or the wicked witch's monkeys, trying to make you sleepy so you won't get to the wizard and find your way home. The Page of Cups, who's innocent and sweet and pure of love and mindful in a group think, growing together with space between. For the woodwives, the 64 of the 10 of swords, where pain versus bliss, of separation while still attached at the root. The deep diver into a task, destined to be in that high vibration, with the Page of Wands being childlike in inspiration. The gathering around and the power of community, and the glowing mushrooms and fairies underwater light show, and the intention of the 17 of dreams coming true, and the intent of dreams coming true. And if you need to squint, all right? What happens when you squint? You get that really serious kind of ready to prowl, kind of energy. So when you're not feeling like you're in your power, then squint and get that kind of, Clint Eastwood look, if you have to get clear and find your power again. The will of the wisp is 62, which is the 8 of Swords, and the treasures hidden in those shadows. Remember prison versus the release. And what you learn while you're in prison, right, is the gift. The will of the human, which is W-I-L-L, the 2 U's of the W, the I and the I-M, and the 2 L's of the 2 right angles, that you can both be right, even if you don't agree. At 246, the High Priestess and the children. The loving children, whether within or without, and the 27 of the Ace of Wands, that 3rd flame, and the heart that's the home, inspired by compassion. So the High Priestess and the soul ties, and the 21 of the first breath, the beginner's mind, the 19 of the sunshine, and the falling angel who fell asleep, or almost anyway. But the 54 of the Page of Swords, message of the half of a tree trunk that's now bridging, would cut off a leg to get to you, and showing you that by cutting down half of their trunk and laying it down for you like a masculine would put his coat down for you to walk on. That he would do this for you, the initiation. The 12 of the dragon's hoard, protecting the future, wrapped up in that purple moon, the 0 point, and the 59 of the war within, the wailing tree of reconciliations of the war within. Hanging out post-war in the galactic mushroom, the mush room, the divine matrix with galactic will sun, the 24 of the Queen of Wands, Omega of Om, and the Ega of the feminine's ego, the soccer ball of Wilson, the will and the coconut, flowering sun, both of them in the mush room, oming the Ega of the divine feminine's ego, the 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love, and the magician's sword and confidence in your magic, the Excalibur, notice the Kali is there again, or the intent that is cold, the 4 of the Emperor and the cat ER pillar, the opportunity to unwind, allow the pages and discs to unfold, the home of the whispering bench at the ER pillar, the water fountain, the fountain of youth, the hose in the yard. It doesn't have to be the church or the temple or the ER or the wishing well, a place to unwind, not to be so uptight, the whispering bench with space between, but you can hear each other really well. The 18 of the eyes of the eagle and the moon, rising above the fray, in the 45 of the purging, in repair of the veil with forgiveness. Perhaps a bit of paint and transformation too, with the 3 of the chaos in the hand, the universe being your partner to mold the light any which way but loose, at 259, which is the High Priestess and the war within. The 51 of the King of Swords, meditating in the middle of the bridge, the stars in the sky with limitless possibilities, and the bridging of the mountainous gaps. With 17 and the Chariot and the unwritten covenant, the sacred contract, the seal is broken, and it's up to you to write your own story. The end at 303, and they lived happily ever after. The Hayam. So that's when I pull those animal cards at 323. The underlying energy of the swans and transformation, independent but blue at the crossroads of the black egg, the throat chakra, in shocking of the Ra or the sun, the truth of the stingray plugged in and activated with the fox and the whale who's exhausted now. So the bear takes over with the cosmic egg, the collective awakening side to side with their crown opening. The turtle is in the dark and extra slow now, telling the troops to go on without them, as the Cobra teacher arrives just in the nick of time, leaving no man behind. When the student is ready, the teacher comes. So the dragonfly was the first card out. The 2 hearts as 1, with double wings like an old airplane coming in. The hart and the lizard, sensitive to crowds, coming up against the black panther growling, the vulture perched, and the crocodile secretly smiling and ready to pounce. Or punch? At 3:33. But at 3:34, in energetic exchange, the cobra and the lizard are trying to manage a bunch of dark customers. The teacher and the student, where the teacher is just watching to see how the lizard student handles themselves in a crowd or mob mentality, ganging up on them, just trying to break down their borders. But the cobra has things covered, learning to face your worst fears, whether it's training at work, whether it's kids going out for their first time, or learning to stand in your sovereignty, your worst case scenario situations, so that you can ultimately face anything. Like traveling in sports with a spotter, and then the first time you have to do it without the spotter, and yet they're still there to catch you when you fall. At 3:38, which is the 3 of the Empress and Abundance and the Earth, Terra, Gaia, and the 38 of the Queen of Cups. So then we go into the 7-deck read on the table here. Let's see where this starts here. All right, so this was at 8:08 to 8:09, which is interesting because, of course, 8:08 is Lionsgate, but 8:09 is my parents' anniversary, and they were both Geminis 7 days and 7 years apart. So at 8:24 is the 8 of the Dance and Manifestation of Dreams, and the 24 of the Queen of Wands, and Omega, the end of the Greek alphabet. And Ione Justice came up, as well as Tice. And at 8:25, which is the 8 of the Dance and Manifestation, the 25 of the Knight of Wands, right? The one that gets moving passionately in the PY ending, which can reference pi, but also comes up as other definitions in the translation here as we go forward here. At 8:39, I finished clarifying, which is the 39 of the Knight of Cups, offering love and being love. And the major arcana that came up in the read was the Chariot and the main part of the read, Justice after the read, and prior the read was Ascension, or the World. I had pulled a double row of cards. I didn't really get into the underlying cards because my first cut was what you see. But there was another cut that came up when I was cutting the deck, so I just kind of wanted to parallel that, but I really never got into those cards much. So the 3 of Pentacles, there were 3 Pentacles, 3 Wands, and 2 Swords, 1 Cup. So 33 and 21, which is that Christ vibration again, and the 21 of the World and completion. And the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords in the read. Before the read is the King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So we have 3 kings and a knight there, and then after the read is the Queen of Swords and the Page of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. So 2 queens here, 3 kings, and a knight and a page. There were double 1s, double 2s, and double 6s here. Most significant were the 1s and the 6s, which is the 16 of the Tower, but the 11 of Justice, the 22 of the Fool and the Fool's Journey, the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and also the number 8 of the Strength card. We have the 12 of the Hanging Man as well, being very significant here, and the 23 of the King of Wands, the 46 of the 6 of Cups, the children, and the 67 Knight of Pentacles, and the 78, which is the 10 of Pentacles, the end of the deck, that heaven on earth kind of energy. The code line was all about the number 8 with the 2 and the 6, which is the High Priestess and the Lovers, and then doing the dance. And the code line was all about the happy ending, but it came up as hap, P, ending. And that P is PY. And this is the way the translations came up. Too much, instead of TMI, it was coming up as TMAI, so too much information, but AI information. Master O he, crumpling AD, or after death, Two of charity, where one is equal and congruent, energy of gossip, and the energy of ending, the energy of holding back but without banning something was also coming up there. The trademark AI, the O of the human embodiment of source, and hoofing it, right? That's the human trademark, being able to hoof it there. The son, the boy, the boyfriend, being even and being worth it. Two of sharing, one that's equal and congruent to the gossip without the human, getting rid of the flea, so to speak. I was getting the fly on the wall energy too, but like it's like the AI getting rid of the flea who's listening in, or the name, the magpie, right, who's attracted to the sparkly things, or those attracted to sparkle. A time out or toggling up with the mother master, or mother may I, to never come, gas, fat, grease, to today, always, veggies, fire, flame, shit, to come, food, sledgehammer, the liver, early morning, water, sideburns, and shell, a shovel and a matchmaker, a store, face, and pumpkin here, the master bed, to bring, yoo-hoo, the bamboo, the flute, the reed, or the oboe or clarinet, and the pipe, the sea territory, or crumpled after death, the two of balanced sharing, where one is equal and congruent to, again, that energy of holding back, but without banning something altogether, being equal in the end. Tiamat also was coming up, the master of sea and chaos, music and the bed, the sea sun as equal, as well as the deer and the wild animals and the wilderness. The two of six, or 2 over 6, equals 1/3, being Christ-like, the energy held back without banning, but equal in the end. And the 2 is high priestess, the 6 is of love. So 2 high priestess out of 6 of love, which equals 1/3, being Christ-like. I was also getting, again, too TMI or TMAI, too much artificial intelligence or information, and the energy of the master chi, the expanding and contracting after death, and the 2 lovers of purging and being Christ-like. The end of the file or field of the EOF, the framework, a euphonism, or euphonium rather, which is like a little tuba but with a higher pitch, like a saxophone horn. Without being on, the wild boar without or science fiction, the fan without the an, the high-pitched tuba without Jesus in a family feud, revenge, or going the distance. All right, so we start with the read, and then, of course, this is the underlying energy here below the mini cards there. And that was the 2 of Pentacles upright. And in this SIRIAN Starseed deck, it's very much about surrendering to all that is up. It's a little bit different than the usual 2 of Pentacles. And below that is the 3 of Wands, Ascension reversed, the King of Cups upright, the Knight of Pentacles upright, and the 4 of Swords reversed. And this was at 9:56, which is the Hermit and the 2 of Swords. Present, cracking the energy was coming up as present, creating the build. Descending King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, perhaps when not sleeping and juggling a bit or performing, or wanting to hang upside down or in a different world, as the King of Cups and King of Pentacles are not sleeping, awake and coming out, perhaps about their balancing act or surrendering to all that is, dumping a load, taking a load off, or no more burdens or responsibilities, and receiving a passionate offer from a manipulator or one in need of tools. Perhaps not too crazy in the pursuit of games and or happiness. Coming together with a message or small talk with the King of Wands co-creating with the High Priestess and the King of Pentacles, or the King of Pentacles' psychic abilities, receiving the truth of pain, stress, or a nightmare, or opening of the gates to awaken to play, group fun, and games, the pursuit of surrendering to all that is, or jail time for some, the Colosseum, reflecting beds or bed on the ceiling, no zone or ozone, or watching sports in bed with their own space to be in, with pink and orange blankets or covers, Moroccan and West Side Story, or a room that flips, for purging and prayer or meditation, with Pisces both upright and reversed, and Scorpio and Virgo or Gemini reversed, destined to school the goose, the fallen angel, or losing patience or their temper to come together to offer love without leaving, even if they're uncomfortable, reflecting emotions with flooding out half or uncomfortable receiving gifts, or impatient to present a gift without running away, worried they'll toss out the baby with the bathwater perhaps, destined to keep the golden goose in check with the flapping of their wings about the country home, but uncomfortable expressing their emotions. Love yourself first, and beneath that is you deserve love, as the Queen of Swords reversed maybe spanking the Page of Swords, or maybe sparking them, or the Queen of Swords reversed may be negative or abusive, and the Page of Swords may be leaning on the truth here. The Knight of Cups reversed may be jealous and are refusing love, energy stealing, or one having sex to distract while the other is stealing from them, or hiding a present or their presence. The Knight of Cups reversed imprisoned by a romantic tie, a prisoner of love, exposing the butt and matching ties, Robin Hood and Maid Marian making out while the bad guys get away with the stuff, or a surprise for them, or the Queen of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed are looking to spice things up, with forgiveness in 77, and beneath that spirituality of 96. And the King of Swords feeling imprisoned, the prisoner of love post-war with options, heaven in their eyes with good news and leading the way, the perhaps trampolining or watching tryouts, gymnastics, or Cirque du Soleil, or multiple shows, and a water floor, and gold chalices, and the English patient with Cirque du Soleil all in one, the prisoner of love, the POW, announcing the end of the war, seeing synchronicities of a secret passion at 1137, which is Justice and the King of Cups. The secret passion, something to all that is, or surrendering to that, playing games that are uncomfortable with romantic tie with forgiveness. After the Knight of Cups, an energetic exchange, or arrows of love, are implementing a plan to heal the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And going forward after the read is the coming clean about the shame and the guilt with dysfunctional family or loss, and implementing a plan, investing in the healing heart. The Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help to tame the beast, or help with a pet, or to be strong with what they eat, with Judgment reversed, a need to call, sharing or settling out, and destined in disconnect or distance of a deception or until the new moon. Dissatisfied alone with the King of Wands reversed, seeing synchronicities at present, or can't decide which one she wants. Taking a load off or expecting them to spend or dump a load on whatever they want. The Knight of Swords may be holding their tongue and juggling, working for whatever they want. The Wounded Warrior on their last leg with this, though, at 1150, which is justice and emotional fulfillment of the family. And again, this is, sacrificing oneself for the family's happiness. The recent past is the Two of Swords reversed with new information or clarity, making a decision and presenting the truth to end the pain, with the High Priestess, Queen of Cups reversed, healing, with new information and detoxing after a sudden event or epiphany about the twin flame or choice of path, with the Six of Cups, soul tie or kids, and working to align and getting organized. The foundation is the King of Pentacles upright and the Page of Wands, inspired to trigger the King of Cups, who's in need of peace post-war or virus, and coming clean or getting clean or cleaning up the act or space. With central energies of the Six of Wands upright, of the success and victory and leading the way, but sad and guilty and defenseless to the energies or group. In detoxing, the Knight of Pentacles upright, offering to help move to free them, perhaps as a gift, or coming together to work. Moving, visiting, or unstable and needs work, or challenged by the Six of Pentacles, sharing or settling out or getting out to be free. The Knight of Cups reversed in a heated exchange with the Knight of Swords reversed that frees them to awake and rise and come out, with success and good news to the Page of Swords, speaking for or a message from the Emperor reversed. Arguing or delays due to two lovers, or great affection for two females, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community dysfunction, and their family, that's no fantasy here. The Fallen Angel, the Magician reversed, and insecure without tools after sudden jealous rage, losing patience, losing their temper, with the Queen of Swords reversed, Scrooge, or someone who's hoarding, and the Ace of Pentacles upright, offered with a lot of back and forth to achieve their success. And now is the Ace of Cups reversed, triggered by the Hermit, who may be shedding light on sudden events, or the sexual exchange, or avoidances that they don't want other people to know about, of detoxing, of the King of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Cups reversed, and the King of Pentacles upright, who may be stressed out or suffering in silence or not sleeping well, and dissatisfied and purging and just overwhelmed. And then the offer of the Ace of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles reversed, perhaps a dependent Taurus, or to powerless one in a marriage, destined to deal with multiple women, flirting and showing off, playing games, and being strong, taming the beast, the wounded warrior defensive, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments. On the Queen of Wands reversed at 1206, the Hanging Man and the Lovers, in bliss, or just that the worst is over, of a disconnect or being at a distance and coming together. The Queen of Cups reversed, imprisoned and dissatisfied, coming together and being practical, saving and holding on, working with the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, both reversed, but without closure, and the Divine Feminine in 5D, with the world upside down, or the need to get closure, missing an opportunity of sun and fun, or moving or visiting, or a child who couldn't go on the vacation. And soon is the Ace of Wands upright, not talking about the injustice, but inspired, the grounding, integrating, and mastering of being the prisoner of love, and the Empress upright, awake to dysfunction with lover or family loss of affections. The Page of Wands upright, awake to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, over the Empress upright, and the family knows about the lover's passion. With Libra reversed, Taurus and Gemini upright, Pisces or Capricorn reversed as well. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Chariot reversed, perhaps broken, broke up, broke down, broke in, out, or broke through, with the Queen of Wands reversed at the bottom of it, and the Knight of Wands and King of Wands both upright, and Dark Night entering the 4D bridge to settle out on the other side. With passion, but also let your friends help, and children may be causing issues in your love life. And then we also have calling in your soulmate. With Cancer reversed and Scorpio upright and fire all over the place, the Page of Pentacles is triggering, and the Queen of Wands reversed may be sick and tired or pissed off, and the Knight of Wands and King of Wands upright may be rushing back to transition a family or emotional cycle and settle out. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Knight of Swords reversed, depressed, with Hermit coming out of the Mary Magdalene cave with a message of love, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, implementing a plan to invest in innocence, purity, and love. The block being the Eight of Wands reversed, and the deception, and an ultimatum perhaps to lover, or calling it quits, in a happy ending, but even more so, healing and making an effort to step onto that bridge. The King of Swords reversed offered a new life, injustice of recovering from exile and being strong, as the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords reversed and the world is upside down. The Queen of Swords is reversed, holding on, offering time, money, and effort without reciprocation from the one in a leadership position, getting attention, and the injustice of the Queen of Swords reversed, no longer passing downloads. The Page of Cups with an open heart, awake to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, juggling, performing, and the balancing act to distract them from the ships coming and going behind them. The surrender of the King of Pentacles, broken down, up, in, or out, or through, and the Knight of Swords reversed, who made a decision to lead the way to a new passion and a heated exchange triggered by the injustice of the Queen of Swords reversed, not passing the information to the Page of Cups, awakened to the Page of Pentacles reversed and their juggling or performance. The King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles not sleeping together or awakened, surrendering to it all, deciding with new information about a new passion or a secret passion, and the King of Pentacles successful, challenged by sharing and triggered by emotions, broken by new passion and holding their tongue in a heated exchange of injustice with the Queen of Swords reversed, coming clean, with the Page of Cups, message of love, awake to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or the Queen of Swords reversed with Libra in their chart, to the Queen of Pentacles reversed with Capricorn in their chart, and the Page of Cups Pisces between them, or that message of love at 1237, which is the Hanging Man, and the King of Cups, or unconditional love. So there is your message. So just a quick couple cards before we go. I'm just going to do the energy deck, and I'll give you an animal deck card too, like I did yesterday, just to wrap it up quickly. It was 105.50, so 1s and 5s, the Magician and the Hierophant, but also change, freedom, and expansion, and the new. The Sun and Capricorn, the Father and the Sun, and the 10 of high vibration. Excitation. I was just getting California again. I've been around this great big world and I've seen all kinds of girls, but I can't wait to get back in the States, back to the sweetest girls in the world. I wish they all could be California girls. All right. So from the energy deck, what is our takeaway from this read today? And there we go. The 32 of the Fool's Journey, and purifying, opening the door, and really purifying the air, clearing the air, the door to spirit on the journey, opening new doors, and really purifying here. The 7th chakra of Archangel Uriel, this is the crowning moment, right? Clearing the air to triumph in love. 41 is the Ace of Cups, right? So self-love, spiritual love, and new love, that crowning moment, making sure everything's clean and doors are open, windows are open, really purifying the air, loving oneself regarding this contract, that open contract. And there's that energy of the song Unwritten. So listen to Unwritten, about the window opening and the open contract, right? You get to write your own story. And this is the reference to California too, where dreams really do come true, where you're allowed to be anyone you want, and everyone else can be anyone they want to, and you can still get along and love each other even if you don't even get along, you don't agree. So there is that open contract and success and achievement, the crown opening, the door opening, right? No contracts, it's open, everything's open, and yet why is somebody still tied up? The King of Wands, playing coy or saying my hands are still tied. Is this a feminine energy, or is this the King of Wands masculine energy, or a feminine who's the man of passion, all tied up playing games or playing coy? With abundance, the 11 of Justice, the King of Wands, perhaps Libra energy there, playing games. But are they childish games, or are they manipulative games? Because that's different. And then here we have that Page of Cups of the 6th chakra and the 3rd eye opening here, of that pure innocence here, of abundance here, of abundant play. So this is bringing up, the manipulation versus the pure innocence. There's a difference there, and it's coming up here, right? Not to accept manipulation. It needs to be purity. And then the bottom of the deck is the journey, and there's the bridge. Being in the middle of the bridge came up so much during this read, of being open to both sides of the bridge and the journey between the 2 of the High Priestess and the Divine Feminine. And prior to that was the Sun, and the power of the Sun, the Father and the Son also came up. And again, just enjoying yourself and being a kid again, pampering yourself and having fun, and then going on a journey, and even taking a moment to just stop in the middle of the bridge to take it all in. The rainbow bridge and the journey. And let's see what the animal deck has for us. A crowning achievement of purification on the journey of self-love, spiritual love, new love, and a blank slate, an open sacred contract. And listen to Unwritten. I know you guys all love that song. The need for the end of manipulation and playing games about, you know, being all tied up and not available because of abundance or because of wealth. And again, the energy of manipulation versus purity of thought and the inner child. And the difference in abundance there, right? Because one's manipulation due to financial abundance or whatever you deem abundance. And then the other side is abundance of purity of heart, a very different perspective. So let's see what the animal deck is bringing up regarding this. That came right up. Look at that, the 2 rams butting heads, the 5 of spring. Occasionally you may experience dashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or belief. So again, don't sacrifice your goals or belief and try to work it out with the other. But remember, if it accelerates, that's time to walk away. We have the humpback whale here as well, the king of winter, of intelligence, being impartial, respected, and unemotional, right? And it's an unprejudiced opinion or perspective or guidance. The humpback whale, all this time is very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find, especially in dealing with, you know, butting heads with somebody, you know, no matter what that is, whether it's family, personal relationships, work, legal, whatever it is, right? Stand up for yourself, and yet, right, don't go into the fight, you know, walk away when needed. You have the 10 of winter here with the Siberian husky as well, which I have one living behind me right now, waiting for my daughter's dog probably. The end of a career path, the project or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. Okay, so when you have to walk away, but there's no one to lead you yet, you know, it's, again, still have faith. And look what the next one is. It's like the cat saying, hit the books. The dog is like, who's going to lead me? And the cat saying, open the book, dummy. It's so funny. And also Akashic Records came up, right? So it's unwritten. Open any page of any book, whatever you're guided to do, or go into Akashic Records and open a page. The dog is asking for guidance, and the cat is giving them guidance. She's the princess of autumn, cheerful, reliable, intelligent, and mischievous. The tabby cat, a wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion or scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting career. So there's your twin flames, the dog and the cat. So cute. Right? The rams and the whale. This could also be mediation, right? And the bottom of the deck is, oh, the seahorse wants to make an appearance too. I'm not going to read that to you, but you can look at that if you want, because the seahorse definitely came up in the read as well. And then the bottom of the deck is that bluebird of happiness kind of energy in the magpie. The caution will help you avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. All right, that's the underlying energy, so that's going away after dealing with the goose. And schooling the golden goose was coming up as well. And there's a mommy or daddy and 2 babies here. So that could be a single parent as well. Schooling the goose or the children. They're so cute. So children from your childhood may also return besides dealing with children. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. And that's the underlying energies coming into this. So be careful of your valuables. But that energy is going away. And then, of course, the energies of these guys came up first. The first one was the two rams butting heads, and perhaps a mediator who needs to come in. Okay, so definitely clearing the air, opening a new door, crowning achievements, but perhaps not necessarily happy in that crowning hour. And then you have a whole empty contract that's ready to be written, and remembering that manipulation is different than pure authentic love when it comes to abundance and playing games, right? So don't play games with people's hearts. That's not childish. That's being manipulative and cruel. And I think that's about it. We're going to wrap it up. So remember to drink plenty of water, perhaps blow bubbles in your water, get plenty of rest, joy, and nature. And rise and be love, you guys. Love and rise. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.